Hello everyone and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today we'll be analyzing these recently revealed LEGO Star Wars Original Trilogy based Brickheadz figures. There are 3 different sets we'll be taking a look at in this video, comprising 4 total figures. And this first set is the largest of the 3. It is Luke Skywalker and Yoda. But they're also releasing a set of Princess Leia and one of Boba Fett. So, starting off by taking a look at the Luke Brickhead from that Luke and Leia set, I think this might be one of the best Brickheads LEGO has made yet. Starting off with the hair, I think the hair here is very well done. I feel as though he probably has one of the best hairstyles I've seen on a Brickhead thus far. There really aren't any major problems with it, like, I'm not a huge fan of the sort of gap in the corner between the hair built on the front of his face and the hair on the side, but pretty much every Brickhead suffers from having sort of a little cutout there, so I don't really mind that. I think the shaping around the side of the head to make it look very messy looks good. I think on the front, having the little part in the front, that looks great. I like the downward curve of it. And on top, I even like the 2 little studs that are on top to give it sort of bits that are sticking up. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of is the 1x2 groove plate. I think that looks a little awkward from the side, but I mean, that's still fine, and I think it does sort of contribute to this design, even if it does look a little off from some angles. But anyway, as you can see, Luke's outfit here is based off of his costume from Bespin at the end of The Empire Strikes Back, which is an interesting choice. I mean, I think it's a good one because it looks very unique. And I do think I do prefer this over getting just a standard Tatooine Luke or Jedi Luke. Like, it does help this Brickhead to stand out, definitely. But, you can see that on the front you have a 1x4 printed brick and a 1x2 printed brick to sort of get the design of his sort of jacket down and his belt. I think those are some pretty nice, useful prints, and I like them. I like the little build for his blaster pistol, and I can't tell, but it looks like that might have the a stud with a hole in it in flat silver, which would be a pretty awesome color to get that piece in. And you can see he also comes with his blue lightsaber, although if you don't want to display him holding it, you could also just take off the blade and clip the hilt onto that clip on his belt, which is nice. And you can also see that on the front there's another pocket, which is done using the new 1x1 bracket piece that we'll see used in another scenario later in this video. That I do really like that piece, and I'm glad that LEGO is getting a lot of mileage out of it for the Brickhead sets. You can also sort of see that on his side, there's another one. His left side, there's another pouch. But on his right leg, there's also a more standard 1x2 pouch using a 1x2 bracket. But yeah, this is a really nice Luke Brickhead. He looks very accurate, some great prints, some great accessories, and just overall, one of the best Brickheads that we've had so far, which is fitting since it's for one of the greatest characters in cinema. Well, anyway, but of course he comes packaged with Jedi Master Yoda, who may be the single greatest thing I've ever seen. I mean, to start off with, he is definitely, in my opinion, the best of the 3 mini Brickheads we've seen so far. Like, Hedwig was adorable, although she looked kind of weird, and Olaf was alright, but looked kind of weird, but Yoda is just adorable. I guess we'll start off with the head again. Obviously, it uses the same 3x3 size. I'm glad that LEGO didn't try to print, like, some wrinkles onto the forehead or anything, because that would have looked really bad. I'm glad that they just went very simple. All that's on there is 2 eyes. But then on the sides, we have his ears, which are definitely a bit small, but I think they fit with the design of the Brickhead. They look right. But then we also have some hair built behind his ears, as you can see, and that looks nice with the white color. And I'm glad that LEGO went with the sand green, because although olive green is more accurate, I feel as though sand green does work a lot better for this little chibi figure. As you can see, for the body, it's very simple. Yoda, of course, doesn't have any legs, or more accurately, his robes just drape down to the ground, so he doesn't have any feet built on or anything. He's just basically, like, his entire body is just a cube with arms, and they just place a head on top. It's kind of awesome. But anyway, you can see you do have that one printed 1x2x2 brick, just to sort of show the fold in it between the two sides of his robe. That's a good print. I mean, not very useful outside of this Brickhead, but it's a nice one, and he, of course, comes with his walking stick. So yeah, that's Yoda. He's a great Brickhead and a great companion piece to Master, well, not Master yet, but, his, well, not Padawan, that wasn't a word. He's a great companion to Luke. How about that? The two go great together, and are, in my opinion, one of the best Brickhead sets LEGO has released to date, or I guess is releasing that we know of, since these don't come out until October. But anyway, yeah, Luke and Yoda, great set. Now let's move on to Princess Leia, who is an alright Brickhead. I mean, nothing fantastic here, but she's alright. We'll start with the head. I'm definitely not a fan of how she just has her entire forehead exposed. It makes her look like she's beginning to be a bit balding, and why does LEGO keep doing this? Like, they did the same thing with Rey. Why, LEGO? You can, if you want to have the forehead, the full 2x4 tile there, you could at least bring the hair up to it on the sides. It just looks really awkward like this. I don't know, but I do like the build for the buns. They definitely don't look perfect. Like, they don't have the sort of layered, braided design to them, but, I mean, I really wasn't expecting that with a Brickhead. And I do like the sort of, the design they do have. They look quite nice. But anyway, you can see that for her sleeves, more specifically on the left side, you can see that in order to cover up her hands so she can have the much longer sleeves, LEGO used those 1x1 brackets to just cover up the 1x2 plate with the clip that forms her hand. They just cover that up, so that looks nice. That's also a technique we saw in some of the Harry Potter Brickheads. And, well, technically she does have it on her right arm, it's just that that's sticking out, so it's not really covering much. It's just there for posterity's sake, which is alright. The blaster design here, I'm not a big fan of. It's very simple, and to me doesn't really look like a Star Wars blaster, but it's alright, and I'm sure that if you wanted to, you have some pieces to customize it if you want to. I don't know. It just doesn't fit with most of the Brickhead's blasters, which, as you saw on Luke and pretty much every other one, like Han, Chewie, Finn, Captain Phasma, etc. They all basically have a similar build where they have, like, the blaster has, like, the pistol piece that Leia has, but then it has, like, a cone coming off of it and then, like, some studs to get some detail in there. Like, I think it's just, I'm not a very big fan of just having the lightsaber hilt on there. It doesn't look very Star Wars, but, as you can see, on Leia's gown, it's very simple, as it should be. She does have a couple feet at the bottom, though, but the prints there are just for her belt. You have a 1x2 brick, and at least 2 of those printed 1x1 plates, although if I had to guess, we'll probably get those plates in that brick also on the back, so we'll probably get 2 of those bricks and 4 plates, which will be nice. Or maybe they'll just have 4 plates and not have the little downward bit on it that it's on the brick, or maybe they just won't have any detail on the back of the belt. I don't know. How would I know? Anyway, some nice prints. Pretty simple Brickhead. Don't know if I'll be picking this one up, but I might. You never know. It just depends on how much money I have. Just ignore that. I'm recording this video on my phone, and apparently I should probably charge it soon. So that's all well and good. But, yeah. Anyway, final Brickhead we get here is Boba Fett, who I think is pretty good figure, although I think it's kind of an interesting choice because he is clearly based more off of Return of the Jedi than The Empire Strikes Back, which kind of makes it interesting how for this wave we have the Luke and Yoda set, which is based off of Episode 5, Leia, which is based off of Episode 4, and Boba Fett, which is based off of Episode 6. Okay. But yeah, I am glad that LEGO did make sure to differentiate this version from the Comic-Con Boba Fett, because of course we have already gotten a Boba Fett Brickhead, but it was a very limited release, so I'm glad that LEGO is releasing another version. And I think this one looks alright. I think I do prefer the Comic-Con version, but this one's all well and good. Starting off with the helmet, you can see that you have a couple of nice, actually quite a few nice prints on that. You have a printed 2x2 sort of sloped piece with that little dent, which was also on the Comic-Con version. But then you also have the 1x4 dark red tile with the eye visor, which again was also on the Comic-Con version, but something that wasn't were those two printed 90, 45, 45 triangle pieces that are dark red with some dark green printed on them, because the Comic-Con version, as you can see, actually had the two triangular mouth parts sloped out, and they got the red detail, and thereby having sort of red plates placed on top of the hinged pieces, and the hinged pieces were black, which is how that was in there. That was a very interesting design, and I'm not sure which I prefer, because while that one looks good, this one I think has a bit of a more accurate shape, even if it's a bit less creative looking. Yeah, the rangefinder is pretty much the same build. The blaster also is pretty similar. Actually, it's the same. But anyway, I don't actually have a picture of it, but the print that's on his shoulder in the Comic-Con version is on the same shoulder in this one. But the belt is different, as here it's a 1x4 tile instead of a 1x4 curved piece. But yeah, you can see there's a bit of blue on the jetpack, which is nice. I hope that's nicely done. You have a couple of pouches on the legs. But yeah, not much to say about this guy. Again, not sure if I'll be picking him up. I think he's a very nice-looking Brickhead. I mean, like, I've just never been the biggest Boba Fett fan. I've always found him to be quite overrated, but I mean, for what it's worth, this guy looks quite nice. Good job, LEGO. Also, I think it's funny how literally all three of the normal Brickheads have the 1x2 plate with the little extension on top of the head. Like, shoot, I don't remember what I called it, but like the slider plate. All three of them have that centered on the top of the head. Just a weird touch. But it's a thing. So yeah, overall, those are my opinions on the 3 newly revealed LEGO Star Wars Original Trilogy Brickheadz figures. Overall, I think they're alright. I do think that Luke and Yoda are definitely the best two. Leia is certainly alright, but nothing to write home about, as is Boba Fett. But, yeah, Luke and Yoda is definitely the one I'm getting of the 3. Might get the other 2, but I'm definitely getting Luke and Yoda as soon as I can. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about these 3 sets. So, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in the next one. Farewell.